All right.
Well, at least one story I've got in mind took place all back, let's see, when would it be? They were out at the Glass Ranch, and I was down there staying quite a bit. I don't know, really it was probably about 1939, 40, along in there. And I don't know how it happened, but somehow or another the sink drained there and stopped up. So Boots come in there and tore it all up and got it fixed, and there was a wash rag in it. I got blamed for that wash rag being in there. And I don't think I actually left it, but I may have, I don't know. But I enjoyed the time there with them, and they had a little peach crop coming on, and the mockingbirds, or no, it wasn't mockingbirds, woodpeckers, were getting their peaches. So Boots, he gave me a dime for every woodpecker I killed with my BB gun. So I did pretty good on that. But I enjoyed my time out there with them a whole lot. Boots and I would go riding out in the pasture to feed or to check on the sheep and cattle and such like. I know one time I was going through there with him and following him on a horse. The old horse I was riding kind of skittish. He went through it, and this brush popped back and hit my horse, scared him to death, and he throwed me off. I hit right flat on my back out there between two great big rocks. And I was out of it for a little bit, and then woke up, Boots had hope, my belt picking up, jumping up and down. It hit me to breathe. But it was a lot of fun out there. And in the wintertime, I'd go down sometimes to spend some time with them, and Boots and I'd go out and feed the cattle that cottonseed cake and put it on the back of the wagon. He'd drive out there and we'd dump it off the back some. And I remember that cottonseed cake smelled pretty good, so I ate some of it. That's all right. Ate quite a bit. Chew on one of the hard little old chunks, there'd been little chunks of it. That's the most of it I can remember going out there.
There you go.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Boots and Aline both, well, he was, 15 years older than I was. And I was 6 years old when they got married. So she's just kind of a second mother to me. And then, of course, when I married Mary, she didn't know nothing. We lived up there close to them in Sterling City. And she taught Mary a whole bunch about cooking and housekeeping and doing laundry. And I remember one time it snowed up there, and we were staying in this little apartment there close by Tilly's house. And Mary had to do the laundry that day, so she threw all my dirty clothes in one of my barracks bags and drug them on the snow over to Aline's. They built a fire under the pot out in the backyard and got the water hot and washed them. But it's been real nice all through. And of course, the time Aline's been here, well, I made an excuse taking in on her, looking in on her and everything. And then here lately, well, took her with Mary out garage sailing and lunch and all that every Sunday for a long time. And then since Mary couldn't get out, well, I'd pick Aline up, we'd go out there and visit with Mary and watch the church together. And then Mary couldn't leave, so Aline and I then go have lunch together and take her back home. I'd come back home. So it's kind of a break in my routine, and also give Aline a chance to get out a little bit, which I enjoyed doing. And that's about most of it, I reckon. Yeah, we took Aline on several of our trips. That first trip, I remember Mary and Aline, they'd watched The Price is Right a whole lot. And they wanted to go to the show out there. And we just got that trailer and new pickup, so we jumped in it and took off for L.A. And first time we got out, we were going along there, and Aline said, next time we stop, I need to get a jacket out of the trailer. Oh, had air conditioner. I hadn't set right. I didn't know about that truck. She was about to freeze to death in that back seat, but she wasn't griping. Never heard that lady make one complaint in her life. But we went out to L.A. and the girls, they had dressed up little funny t-shirts they were wearing and trying to attract attention, but they didn't make enough noise because I didn't make any. So we didn't get on the show, or they didn't. I wasn't even trying to. But we enjoyed it, and one thing I remember about that trip, the park we were staying in had a bunch of lemon trees, and they were growing lemons there. They're the biggest things I ever saw for lemons. And so I left, I brought about a half a dozen home with me. I sold them in the trailer. And we got home, Aline took those, made me a lemon pie. Best I ever ate. But she went with us on several trips. Went to Florida several times to the Sun and Fun Fly-In. And then there's one time we took off, went up the East Coast, and went to Washington, D.C. And all three of us, we toured it pretty well, in all the museums. Then we went on up to Philadelphia, and this place we stayed said they had a guided tour through Philadelphia. Well, I went down, signed up for that, and all three of us, and I went to check in the next morning, and well, I'm afraid that the trip's called off because y'all are the only three that registered, and it takes at least 4. I said, okay, I'll pay the 4th one, let's go. So we had a real good trip. That lady taking us around this little van, she explained a whole bunch of stuff that we wouldn't know what we was looking at. And then took us into a certain place in the old part of town and let us out in this little street we were going down. It was too narrow for her van to get down through there. So she told us that now on the other side of this, there's a large building there, and inside is a food bar. Y'all go in there and have lunch, and I'll meet you on the other side of it out there at a certain time. So it went real good. We went through there and saw a whole lot of things, saw the little emblems up there that the fire station, that the fire companies used. And she was telling us this yarn, says, back in those days, you bought your fire protection from the fire department, and if you didn't have protection, they didn't bother to come with you. And that's why they had these little stickers on out there. And little plaques about so big, and they're quite a collector's item now. But they'd come up, if you had the right sticker on, they'd put your fire out. If you didn't, they wouldn't pay attention to you. It's funny, but we went over to the mall or whatever it was, and had a good lunch, and then walked outside, and there was a lady was waiting for us. And she took us to see the Liberty Bell, all that. They were moving it at the time, over into a different building. But we get to see it anyway. But we really enjoyed it, and it was good company for Mary, for Aline to be with us, and I enjoyed her too. So she wasn't a bit of trouble, none at all. And we enjoyed having her. And that's enough of it. But that's another thing, a lot of times, well, when we went to Reno air races, we always stopped in Vegas, either going or coming. And we really enjoyed it there, and she enjoyed it. And she and Mary, they'd go over and play the quarter machines or penny machines, a whole lot. But they enjoyed their time there, and I did too. And they didn't go out to the races with me. They stayed and played. When we ran Reno, of course, they got casinos all over it too. So they'd stay there and play while I was out at the races. And she went with us on to Oregon, went down the Columbia River Gorge, and we went out there to a short-wing piper convention. But then while we were there, we went down and went through the museum, saw the spruce goose, all such as that. Then went on down the Oregon Coast Road, and that's a beautiful drive. We've made that at least twice, maybe 3 times. But she went with us at least one time. She didn't go with us on all of our trips, but a lot of them. She went with us. We're glad to have her.